Hi everybody, my name is Timothy. Now there's lots of reasons why I've made this film. Firstly, I just love mathematics. Secondly, some of you will be taking exams in mathematics this summer, so they may well be helpful. I hope that's the case. Thirdly, I have studied mathematics as part of my degree. And also, fourthly, I just love making films. Now maths is based on logic, based on understanding, and not really based on memory, although you need to remember a certain number of formulae from heart. But as long as you can understand what is going on, that is not such a mean task. Now you've no doubt heard about something called the equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c. Sounds cool. And it is really quite straightforward to understand. Now firstly understand that y equals f of x simply means that y is a function of x. The function we are looking at is y equals mx plus c. Now this equation shows that as x varies, then y changes according to the value of mx plus c. Easy peasy, yeah? Now the c represents the y-axis intercept, or rather the value of y when x equals 0. Okay, easy as that. Now let's look at m. M is the gradient of the line. This can be positive or negative and is dead easy to work out, as we shall see later. Often it's helpful to plot a graph of the line. Bearing in mind you only need two sets of coordinates to draw a straight line. Okay, that's quite important. Our first example is the equation y equals x. Firstly, we know that c equals 0, so the y-intercept is right through the origin. Secondly, when x equals 4, then y equals 4. And with this information in mind, we are able to draw the straight line. Now what is the value of the gradient? Well, think of the equation as y equals 1 times x. Now that fits in with the equation y equals mx plus c, because in this example c is 0, and with m equals 1, y equals 1 times x plus 0. Now in the equation y equals x, the gradient is simply the rate at which y changes divided by the rate at which x changes. You can see from the graph that as x increases from 0 to 4, then y also increases from 0 to 4. Thus the gradient of the line m equals 1. Okay. Now our second example is the line given by y equals x plus 4. This is similar in many respects to our previous example. The first thing to note is that the y-axis intercept, or c, is when y equals 4. Okay? Also note that when y changes as x changes, the rate of change or gradient of the line is again equal to 1. Now let's look at a slightly more complicated example, namely the equation y equals 3x minus 2. Don't panic. You can quickly see that the y-axis intercept, or in other words, where x equals 0 along that line, the value is minus 2. Okay? And the gradient, or rate of change of y with respect to x, is equal to 3. Again, it helps to plot the graph. We know therefore the coordinates of one point on the line being 0, minus 2. It's also easy to work out that when x equals 1, then y equals 1. And when x equals 2, then y equals 4. Okay? So it's fairly easy to draw this line. Now you will also see that as x goes from 0 to 2, y goes from minus 2 to 4. Thus the gradient as y changes in respect to x is 6 divided by 2, i.e. 3 as in the original equation. Now before we look at the graph of y equals minus 2x minus 4, let us just be sure you know that a minus number multiplied by a positive number equals a minus number, and vice versa. Also, two minus numbers multiplied together result in a positive number. Okay, that's just how it is, alright? But that's important to remember, and you'll see why in a short while. In our example we see that, oh no, this line has got a gradient of minus 2. Yeah, but don't panic. Let's plot this straight line. Firstly, we know that when x equals 0, or the y-axis intercept y equals minus 4. Okay, so we can plot that point. Okay, so far so good. Now let's see what value y is when x equals 2. Now this entails working out minus 2 times 2 minus 4, which equals minus 8. Again, note you only have to work out 2 points when drawing a straight line, so we can draw a straight line now. Now let's verify that the gradient of the line is equal to minus 2. Well, if you look at the graph and work out what y equals, when x equals minus 7 for example, it equals 10. Now when, say, x equals 2, then y has decreased from 10 down to minus 8. So the rate of change of y when x goes from minus 7 to plus 2 is equal to minus 18 divided by 9, which is, as we expected, equal to minus 2. The same value as the m value in the equation y equals minus 2x minus 4. So there you have it. Actually, it is really quite interesting. When you do more advanced mathematics, you will hear terms such as rates of change, or how y varies with respect to x under the guise of differential and integral calculus. You know, we're talking about straight lines here, but let's get our head around this. A straight line is really a straight curve. Yeah? The gradient or slope of the line for a straight line is going to be constant, but if it's a curve, it's going to vary. Well, that's where calculus comes into play, but I guess you're not studying that yet, so, but it's really interesting. Okay.